Hey guys, welcome back to my subscribers. Y'all know I appreciate you. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can come and hang out with me every time I upload a video. All right, so we are season 10, episode 12, Married at First Sight. This is my review. So here we are with recommitment day. The couples have been married for a month, and this is something that they started, I believe, they started last season where they gave the couples basically a chance to either recommit or bow out before the end of the 8 weeks. So I'm going to start with Jessica and Austen. All of the couples are meeting with Dr. Viviana and Pastor Cal. The women are with Viviana, the men are with Pastor Cal. So Jessica is with Dr. Viviana and she's just telling her how things are going really well. She feels completely protected and safe. Um, Apparently there's a big thing with the timing of when they go to bed because Austen mentioned it as well when he met with Pastor Cal. So Dr. Viviana asked her, did the did that affect their sex life? You know, she goes to bed pretty early, he goes to bed late, and y'all already know how Jessica and Austen are. They don't like to talk about their sex life. So she went into straight giggle mode and she was like, no, it doesn't affect their sex life at all. Um, she asked Jessica, you know, what would it take for her to say no on decision day? And she brings up the fact that he hasn't said I love you yet. So she tells, Dr. Viv that she does love him, but she doesn't want to say it first because she wants to make sure that it's mutual. And Dr. Viv basically told her, look, you need to be open with Austen. Tell him how you feel without worrying about his response. And that's what I was saying. It's almost like, I mean, you're grown and you're talking and thinking like somebody in middle school or high school. Oh, I love him, but I want to wait. I don't want to say it first because I don't want to look like I'm pressed, or I don't want to say it first and he doesn't say it back. You're a married woman. Now, granted, I know it's not the conventional way, but so what if he's feeling the same way? What if he's like, I feel it too, but I don't want to say anything. I want to wait. So then where does that leave you? So both of you are feeling it, but both of you are scared to say it. Like somebody got to make the first move. I just think it's immature, and to be honest, I don't know if it's because I'm over the whole season, but it's like everybody's getting on my nerves. Jessica is getting on my nerves with this whole "I love you." Um, but anyway, so she said she feels it. Dr. Ville was like, look, you need to tell him, but don't have any expectations. And the way I look at it is she's already been what's the word I want to use? She's been poking and, in a roundabout way and have directly come on and asked him about does he feel like it's too soon to say I love you? He told her, yeah, he feels like, there's no rush. So you know how he feels. You know how he feels about saying it now. So you have your answers. It's just not what you want to hear. So you're constantly pushing the envelope. But anyway, so Austen with Pastor Cal pretty much saying the same thing. Things are going well with Jessica. They're going really great. They get along. And he asked Austen, what would be a deal breaker for you? Like, what would make you say no at the end of the 8 weeks? And he was saying a breach of trust. That he completely trusts her now, I guess, as much as you can within this short period of time. But if there was a breach of trust, that would cause him to break things off at the end of the 8 weeks. So that was pretty much it with them. Moving on to Brandon and Taylor. Brandon is with Pastor Kyle. He tells him that, he and Taylor are still not living together. They haven't even spoken in a while. I guess since the episode where they were at the salon. He did mention the video and about him moving out. So Taylor is telling Dr. Viv the same thing pretty much, that they're not living together. She said that she tried to make it work, even, offering to be friends, but Brandon doesn't want to be friends. I mean, we've all seen that go down where she's like, "Hey, do you not want to be my friend?" And I don't think, see, it's okay. From her point of view, she's looking at it like, okay, obviously this marriage is not going well, so can we kind of start off with a clean slate, start off as friends? Whereas Brandon is looking at it like, in my opinion, that no, I'm here to be married, not be friends. Like, he's not looking at it as a step towards making the marriage work. Is how I look at it. It's like he's taking offense to her saying, "Let's be friends," and I don't think she means it the way he's taking it. Anyway, so Dr. Viv was like, basically told her, "Look, y'all playing games." That's not exactly what she said, but she was like, they playing chicken. And neither one of them wants to come out and say, "Hey, I like you," or "Hey, I don't want this to work." And I was thinking, nah, Brandon has flat out said that he didn't want it to work more than once. I mean, we talking about not only him saying that, but he has walked out. Like when they had the meeting with Dr. Pepper, when, well, first of all, the first time he walked out after Taylor did a video, then he walked out when they met with Dr. Pepper, then he walked out again when they met up on their 1 month anniversary. So Brandon he's been pretty consistent with, "I'm over this," and walking out. It's kind of making me think that the show is probably calling Brandon, like meeting with him off camera, and maybe trying, like, convincing him, "Hey, come back, let's work this out. Try to hear her out. You know, you're halfway there." I don't know. For some reason, I feel like production is playing a role in us seeing Brandon still on the show for some reason. Um, anyway, so when she was asked, did she still want to be married, she was like, yes. She still wants to try. And then when Pastor Kyle was asking Brandon if he still wanted to make it work, Brandon was like, "Nope, can't do it." And this is what I'm saying. He's been consistent. Excuse me, guys. He's been consistent. So he's like, "Nope, can't do it." So Pastor Kyle was asking him, like, was there anything about Taylor you saw early on that would make you want to give it another shot? Like, can you think back? And he was saying in the beginning, she seemed like she was sweet, very smart and caring and blah blah blah. And Pastor Cal was like, what he sees is two people who don't know how to get over the roadblocks that they have caused. And I completely agree with that. They created this mess. It started with Brandon acting like a butthole. They moved on from that, but not really. And then Taylor added on to that. So they created all this drama, all these roadblocks, and yet they don't know how to maneuver around or over it. So when asked, Pastor Carl asked Brandon, "Okay, so what would it take for you to say yes and to stay in this marriage?" And Brandon was like, he needs to see a change from Taylor. He'd be willing to try it again if he see a change. And he said this so reluctantly. So he had a few things on the list. He had a little list, and he was like, she needs to act like a wife, by not hanging out with her friends all night, not blocking him on her social media, um, acting like she's single. And then he said, she needs to not try to intentionally hurt him when she feels hurt. Like, let's talk it out instead of you trying to do tit for tat, basically. So then he was like, if she can do all of that, then I'm open to it. But it's like, okay, Brandon, well, what about the things that you've done? So anyway, they both said that they're willing to try and make it work. Of course, Brandon his little list, but they're both talking about hanging in there. Um, we later see him come over and they talk. It was still kind of awkward though, but he did come over to the apartment and Taylor got this pillow up and I don't know. It's just weird because I'm like, these are grown people, and I know that they've had relationships with somebody at some point in their life. And they're sitting there like they don't know where to start, what to say, what to do. It was just really awkward. They had this little awkward moment where they hugged, and it just seemed like a little church hug. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so moving on to Derek and Katie. Okay, so Derek is with Pastor Cal. He's telling him about the fight that he and Katie had previously, like the night before. So then they show the clip. They played the clip of the argument, and you have this grown ass woman acting like a brat, telling her husband he's not being realistic and he has too many dreams. Y'all, I just rolled my eyes. I did not like Katie from day one. If you go back to my first review, I did not like her. And later on, I think I was liking Derek. And so I was like, okay, she's not getting on my nerves as much. But I'm not feeling Katie. I'm still not feeling her. Anyway, so Katie's with Dr. Viv. And so she mentions the argument too. So they're both, because this is fresh, they just had this argument the night before. So they're both bringing it up with their meetings. So she's telling her about the argument, and I'm going to quote her. I wrote it down word for word because I want to say the exact words out loud just to put them out there to see how it sounds. So, she said, "We just got into the biggest fight because he has all of these hopes and dreams and goals. It's not something that I really like fully believe in and like stand behind." So, you heard what I said. They got into a big argument because he has hopes, dreams, and goals that it's not something that she fully believe in and stand behind. Okay. So from that, I'm going to list the things so far that Derek has mentioned, and I may miss some. I may miss a few, but the ones that I remember that Derek has mentioned so far as his hopes and his dreams and goals, are writing a Christmas song, backpacking in the mountains somewhere, or just backpacking somewhere, building a tree house that connects to another tree house, and skydiving. Those are the things I remember him saying. Okay. Oh, and writing. Did I say writing a book? And writing a book. None of those things. I'm trying to figure out what has he said. Which one of those things is sending her over the edge where she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. You're not being realistic. I can't do this." He got like what? What is? So I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm asking myself, did the ex boyfriend come back in the picture and text her, or did one of her friends tell her they talked to her ex boyfriend and basically giving her the conversation? Something is not adding up. I'm trying, because she is really like distraught. She's really distraught over this dude having hopes and dreams. So again, of course, he's concerned, about her not being supportive. So he mentions a conversation that they had after. I guess they were talking about how their life would be after having kids, and he was saying that he was talking about writing a book, and he was saying, even as a parent, I could still write a book. And so she tells him that's unrealistic. As a parent, you won't have time to write a book. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's you can write a book with kids if you have children. Children do go to bed. Okay. And also, Katie, you can be watching and taking care of the kids while he takes an hour or two to work on a book. Like, that's the most asinine thing ever. She is such a killjoy. Anyway, so Dr. Viv said, it sounds like Derek is ambitious. Like, why does that bother you so much? Then Katie changes her tune and she's like, um, it's nothing really wrong with it. It's just that she doesn't know if she can be his number one cheerleader. What is there to be a number one? Where's the confusion? Why is it so hard for you to be his number one cheerleader? I mean, everyone is not going to have the same dreams. Everyone is not going to think it's ideal to write a book or to write a Christmas song. But if it's not affecting your life, and we don't even know yet, you've only been married for a month, who knows what's going to happen? But I highly doubt him writing a Christmas song is going to be the premises of your divorce. I hardly doubt that. So, what are you upset about? Anyway, so Katie was saying for her to say yes on decision day, that she would need for Derek to open up and basically be more mature. She said he was immature at times. Um, she said that he claimed, now listen to this part. He claims that he's all about family. Family comes first. But, she's worried because he's such a dreamer. Now, Derek is with Pastor Cal, and he was like he would need for her, basically to support him of his dreams. So Pastor Cal asked him, are you committed? How committed are you to this relationship? So at this time, this is when Derek reveals he has put Katie on his health insurance. Did y'all hear that? He has put this woman that he's only known for a month, on his health insurance. Now Katie has diabetes. I'm pretty sure, I don't know far as her medication goes or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's not cheap. There's a lot to go into it. So going back to this whole, he's not saying I love you, he's a dreamer, he's immature, I don't know if he's serious. This man, first of all, on top of everything else he's done to, in my opinion, to show that he's committed to this relationship, he put you on his health insurance. What the hell else do you need? What do you need? Cause he could have very well said, nah, I can't do that, or nah, I'm not ready for that, or only, he could have did all of that and given all kind of excuses, but he didn't do that. And this is what irritates me about her and irritates me about Jessica. Y'all so focused on the words, but you're not paying attention, nor are you appreciating, acknowledging anything that these men are actually doing. Anybody can say I love you. Anybody can say anything and put it into words, but if their actions are not matching, like, I haven't seen anything Katie has done for Derek throughout this whole experiment except for, what was the Panama Canal? That was it. Maybe I missed something. I haven't seen anything. All she's done is freaking complain, down him, make him feel like, he's this little boy, like, oh, you've never been in love. Well, half it sounds like you've never been in love either, because you don't even recognize it. You don't recognize when a man is showing you that he cares, that he likes you, that he wants to see you happy, and then to turn around and even consider your well-being as far as your health. So I would say you've never been in love. How about that? I mean, and then you gonna turn around and dog this dude and be like, oh, you got too many freaking dreams and too many freaking goals. What are you talking about? How about you get some goals and get some dreams? How about that? It's almost like she doesn't have any. Her whole thing is, let's be married, let's go to work, let's have kids. That's her life, that's her ideal life, which is nothing wrong with that. If nothing he's saying is negative and I can foresee causing issues in their marriage. I just don't get it. And so I'm wondering if she's nitpicking and just coming up with things because she really don't want to be there, and she's messing back with the ex or talking to the ex, or I don't know. I don't know. Mike and Mika. All right, Mike is with Pastor Cal's telling him things are going okay. He feels like he kind of figured them out, while they were matched. She's logical, analytical. He's more emotional. He tries to work through issues. He called them fire and ice, which I don't get that. I don't get how that's a good thing, but okay. Um, and he went into the whole, they need to look at their strengths and see how that can better complement them as husband and wife. So Mika's with Dr. Viv. She was saying that, so much damage was done in the beginning that it's been hard for her, trying to bounce back from that. So she touched on, the inconsistencies in Michael's story, from the mileage on his car to his job. So she did say that she asked him for his pay stubs to confirm his income and his job title. Like, show me something. And he has yet to do that. So Dr. Viv's response was, "Oh my goodness, you seem angry about it." Like, yeah. So Mika said, she's frustrated because she came into, this whole experiment or experience, um, being open and honest, and that's what she asked for, and she feel like that's not what she got. So Dr. Viv asked her, "Is the frustrated Mika, is that the person that's who with Michael, almost every day?" So Mika was like, "Yeah." And Dr. Viv said, "Okay, well, that doesn't seem like a very soft place to land." And when she said that, it kind of got to me. It got to me because why is it the women have to always coddle the men? Michael has been problematic from the plane ride to the honeymoon up until today. He has been. So now, is Mika a little, aggressive at times? Yeah, but when you've been lied to over and over and over and over and over again, at some point you get frustrated. At some point, when you're having a conversation, you're already expecting him to lie. And then when she tries to have a conversation about the lies, he gets defensive and he tries to turn it on her. So there have been times where I'm like, okay, maybe she could approach it a little differently, but at the same time, I'm not her and I'm not experiencing that. I'm not and have never experienced someone lying to me damn near every time we have a conversation, So again, I there have been instances where I'm like, okay, he seemed like he's trying. He hasn't lied yet. This is a normal day, normal conversation. She can kind of let loose and not be so, you know, nitpicky or jumping on him. But again, this is what she's been dealing with since what, the third day of marriage. So yeah, hey, I'm not her, I'm not in it, so I can't fully judge her on how she feels about being lied to constantly. Anyway, but for Dr. Viv to say, well, okay, you're frustrated all the time, that's not really a soft place to land. What are you talking about? First of all, she's frustrated because he's a freaking liar. He's a liar. So now she gotta, and she knows he's a liar. He's admitted to lying. And you're saying she needs to calm down and be open and be soft when girl, Dr. Viv, you don't bring her back next season. Production, Married at First Sight production, do not bring it up. First of all, at this point, just throw the whole show away. I am so sick of these people. Maybe that's why Pastor Cal's on another show there. He is, okay. Get it together. All right. So Pastor Cal asked Mike if he was like, I know there's been some issues where there's been some dishonesty. I'm hoping that you guys work that out. Am I right about that? And Mike was like, yeah, we've worked it out. We've talked about things and, whatever. And things have improved. That's what he said. Now, mind you, I don't know what that means because Mika said she asked him for pay stubs to see how much he gets paid and what his job title is. So that's proof to her that she hasn't seen. So what Mike talking about he's proved, I don't know yet. Because they're both saying two different things. He was saying how they discussed how he wasn't being transparent and being guarded and telling little lies. And he was saying, here we go with the whole adoption. Because of his background, being adopted, it takes time for him to trust people. Okay, we get it. You have people who never even been through the whole adoption thing, and it's hard for them to trust. But that's what he goes with. So he gave an example of when he comes to his wife, if he's saying, honey, I want to open up, I want to share, be vulnerable with you, she needs to create that space for me to do that. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Why is it the wife's, why is it her job to create this cushiony, fluffy, ice cream scented lollipops, rainbows scenario for you? You're a grown ass man. Just come out and say, "Hey, baby, let's sit down and talk. I got something on my mind, or I'm feeling this. I want to share it with you." I guarantee if you're nice to your wife, if you show that you appreciate her, if you don't lie to her, she pretty much would have no reason not to be open and not to create have this space and open arms to listen to you. Why would she not? Why would she? Who just automatically, when you come to them and say, "Hey, let's talk," no, get out of my face, I don't want. Who does that? Mike, see, here's the thing. Mike does what he does. He lies, and then he doesn't understand, or he act like he doesn't understand why Mika is now acting the way she's acting. He feels like, I'm going through. Here's my thing, and y'all know I have said that if you've been with me for a while through my other seasons with Review on Married at First Sight, you already know how I feel about people dealing with their mess. Granted, nobody's perfect. We all have baggage. However, if your adoption situation has affected you to the point where you just feel like you just can't absolutely trust anybody, you have these walls up, you feel like, I'm going to lie until I get to know them and feel like I can trust them. Why are you on a show getting married to a person you don't know? Seem like to me, your best bet is to meet someone and get to know them gradually, grow in love, and then get married. But no, you marry someone, a total stranger, and you start off with lies. Oh, let me build this narrative. I'm going to lie to her about who I really am because I don't know her and I don't trust her. Well, how the hell did you get to know and trust and like and grow in love with the real you if you're lying? If you're creating this facade, who's that's not real. So you're going to create this narrative and do all this lying of things that's not even real, not even true. And then at the 8 weeks, be like, oh, okay, well, now that you stay with me, let me tell you the truth. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that make sense to? If you guys get it, am I missing something? If I'm missing something, please comment below and explain it and break it down to me. I swear I will be open minded. I'm very open minded. I am. Just I'm not getting it, and I'm sick of this whole, well, my I was adopted. Okay, we get it. We get it. And if it's traumatizing you that bad, sir, you need to go get therapy. But don't bring somebody into that mess and then have this attitude like she needs to just deal with it. I was adopted, so I'm a liar. Deal with it. No, you were adopted. Now you're a liar. You need to go seek therapy. Get your shit together and then take on a girlfriend or a wife. Just unbelievable. Like the nerve. Anyway, I don't know where I was. Okay, so Pastor Cal, what do I say? Oh, so Pastor Cal, he saw through the BS. See, he saw through it and he was like, okay, but if the person who if you're the person who's being dishonest, you have to work twice as hard to get it to be even. And that's what I mean. You have all these expectations of you want her to be open, you want her to be vulnerable, you want her to be all these things, but you're the freaking liar. You're the liar. So now you got to undo all of that, plus be this open and honest person, and be vulnerable and all this. So you gotta work twice as hard to make things right. But you wouldn't have to do that if you weren't such a liar to begin with. But anyway, so they both agreed that they want to stay committed to the marriage. Pastor Cal made a good point when he said he thinks that Mika wants to change her hard exterior. This is what he was saying to Mike. He was like, but she's waiting. She's waiting for you to prove that you can be proactively honest. Like, be honest, be that stable foundation, be the person that creates a stable environment. Prove to her she can trust you with her heart. And that's the thing. His whole thing is, well, I just need for her to just, you know, be vulnerable and just listen and understand, and I'm adopted and blah 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 blah. Yet what are you doing to make her trust you? Because all you've done is lie. So how is she supposed to trust you based off of what? Because you were adopted and you're a liar? Michael, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, seriously. All right, so let's get on to oh Lord, Zack and Mindy. All right. So Zach is with Pastor Kyle, Mindy's with Dr. Viv. Yeah, I know how it goes. So Mindy reveals to Dr. Viviana that Zach has accused her of being a liar, of doing something, but he refused to tell her what it is. She was letting her know how he befriended her friend behind her back, deleting text messages. He still hasn't moved in with her. And as she's listing all these things, I mean, I was just thinking, like, okay, all of this stuff that you're listing, I was just shaking my head, like, and you want to stay with him because of what? So, yeah, okay. I know there are people that are desperate, for love, and people have a faith that things would turn around. I get it. I get it. But is it safe to say that maybe Mindy has ulterior motive as well? Because why are you putting up with all of this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna. Okay, let me just retract that. Let me retract that. I'm not gonna say that. It's so hard for me to believe that she is putting up with all of this stuff. I can't. He has done everything but slapped her in the face, and she still, I'm committed. And I think somebody mentioned I don't know. I have different separate conversations regarding this show with different people. I don't know if somebody posted in a comment section in one of my reviews that um Mindy is trying to prove something to her family, because her family did not support this at all. So maybe she's trying to prove to them, but no, she's actually proving them right. It's not working out. It's not working. Now, granted, I don't fault her for trying, for even coming on the show, because you never know unless you put your foot out there. But now that you've seen how this guy is, what he's doing, you've seen that he's lied, he's talking to your friend, but it's so many layers to the drama and the dysfunction that I'm like, what are you holding on to? What are you holding on to? Why are you holding on? So anyway, Dr. Viviana was like, okay, like, you need to set some standards, blah blah blah. You need to put your foot down and basically come up with a list of demands. And so Mindy went down the list, and she was just like, um, he needs to tell her about the text messages, or show her the text messages that between him and Lindsay. He needs to tell her about what he's accusing her of, and he needs to move in. That was the last thing. He needs to move in. So Dr. Viviana was like, okay, well, if he doesn't meet these demands, are you willing to walk away? You willing to say no? And she said, yeah. She said, yeah, she's willing to walk away if he doesn't meet these demands. Um, and yeah, so Pastor Cal was talking to Zach, and Zach basically BSing, and Pastor Cal called him out on it. So he was talking about the whole moving in, and he was like, and he was like, dude, you saying that you're committed to this, you need to act married and not just, you need to show that you're married, not just act like it, for the cameras. So anyway, Zach comes over, and Mindy is just beside herself. She is so excited that he is over there. He comes over the dogs, and she has toys for them. She got little treats. She ordered wings for them, which is Zach's that he told her one time when they met in the dog park that that was his favorite snack. He wasn't into sweets. Anyway, so she pretty much, I thought it was a nice gesture. She got his favorites. She got some stuff for the dogs, and she was just so excited. And even when they were talking at the table, and she was like, okay, well, first of all, let me go back, because when he was saying something about he didn't feel like moving in was going to change anything, and he told her at one point he gets up really early, and that was gonna, he thought that was gonna cause conflict. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, so then, because you saying stuff like that is making me think you don't plan on staying married with me, because if your schedule is to get up bright and early and we stay married, I'm gonna have to get accustomed to that. So anyway, when they were sitting there eating their dinner, and she was like, if you got to get up extra early, whatever, I'll walk the dogs, and I'll get up with you, or whatever the case may be. Like, she's really, bless her heart. I was, I felt bad for her, because first of all, Mandy, he came with an overnight bag set, so he was not moving in. Um, but she had it all planned out. She had it all planned out. She's like, I'll walk the dogs. You ain't got to worry about that. I got your favorite food. I got the dogs and some toys and some trees. Like, yeah, this is it. I'm showing you. So anyway, next thing you know, she is like following Zach around the apartment. And I was getting irritated a little bit, because I'm like, girl, let him breathe. She's very clingy. And I know, because he was spending the night, she was excited, but she was acting a little creepy. So anyway, he had his little bag. He was taking stuff out. And he couldn't even take it out his bag fast enough. She was scooping it out, putting it in the drawer. And I think he had like, what, one pair of socks or something. And then she was like, is this all you brought? And he was like, yeah, what did he say? Some lingering something. He was like, yeah. So she's like, oh, you got to bring more stuff over. And I'm like, girl, he is not there to, Mindy, Mindy, he is there because basically Pastor Cal put him on blast. Like, look, I'm not buying it anymore. You need to move in. And his thing was, he'll gradually do it, whatever. So bless her heart. I guess she misunderstood, or she was just so excited she wasn't thinking. So anyway, she was like, oh yeah, you got to bring more stuff over. So next thing you know, he's in the bathroom, and so they showed the clip where she was washing her face, he was washing his face, doing his thing, and so he's in the bathroom. You look up, she's right there in the doorway watching him, and she's like she's like asking him, is he done with his nightly routine? Just like not giving this man breathing room. So they come out the bathroom, they're in the bedroom section. So she's on the bed, and she's asking him, is he ready to go to sleep? So Zach was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go in the other bedroom. Her face dropped. So he leaves, he goes in the other room. Of course, the little dogs follow him. He not only shuts the door, he locks it. He locks it. So I don't know why, but for some reason when he did, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Mindy creeped me out this episode. She was like a dog in heat. She was very creepy acting. Maybe she freaked him out. I don't know, but he damn sure locked that door. Like, what do you think, Mindy gonna creep in the middle of the night? Anyway, so Mindy's laying on the bed with her little dirty feet, just looking out the door, like towards the second bedroom. So y'all know what I was thinking, all right? Did Mindy take a shower? And this is why I asked. Okay, the clothes. Okay, when Zach got there, she had on her outfit. When she was washing her face, when he was washing his face, doing his thing or whatever, she still had on the same clothes. When she was like, okay, are you ready to go to bed? You ready to go to sleep? She had on the same clothes. Here's my thing. Okay, your feet are obviously dirty and you just took off your makeup. So if she had taken a shower, because my thing was, okay, even if she took a shower before he got there, I'm not saying you had to wait till he get there to do it, whatever. Let's say she took it before he got there. You didn't take your makeup off before you took a shower, right? Why is your feet still dirty? So that's leading me to believe she hadn't showered. I'm not gonna say that's the reason why Zach is so turned off, but I can't ignore the fact that it appears she's not. I mean, she's already said it, but I don't know. It's just something that stands out, and that stood out to me. Um, but yeah, so that was the end of that. But Pastor Cal did meet with the ladies. I mean, Dr. Viv met with the guys. They just had a little chit chat, whatever. One thing I wanted to point out, when Pastor Cal met with the women, and he kind of focused in on Zack and Mindy, and everyone was kind of dancing around it. Jessica came out. She was just like, "This is ridiculous. He hasn't moved in. Blah blah blah. Whatever." This was the close, because Pastor Cal keeps telling all the couples, look, I can't force anybody to get a divorce, because remember, I kept saying, I'm like, at some point the show needs to step in, the experts need to step in and just end it. And I noticed that he keeps saying, I can't force anyone to get a divorce. Okay. Well, at the dinner with the ladies, what I did notice was Pastor Cal was like, you need to set some standards. You need to be an advocate for yourself. Basically, all in a nutshell, he was saying like, don't settle for less. Don't let this man play you. You need to have some standards. And you need to have basically some self respect. That's all in a nutshell what he was saying. And I was pleasantly surprised that he did that, but I also was happy. I was happy that he did. I was happy that Jessica spoke out, because I don't like people being put on the spot, but at the same time, I guess as an expert, and an employee of this show, the goal is to have people married and stay married. I mean, that is the focus of the show. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure, they don't want them to encourage the couples to divorce, even though they know they should. I'm just happy that he worded it in a way where it's like, okay, I am not telling you to divorce this man, but I am telling you, this shit ain't right. You need to have some self respect. Don't let this man play you. Get it together, basically. So anyway, that is it, you guys. That is my review. Next week looks explosive. It looks like it is going to be good. Mika has had it, and she's about to let production know. She has reached her boiling point. So we about to see some fireworks next episode. Anyway, guys, thank you so much as always for hanging out with me. Leave your comments below. And until next time, take care.